Now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
We've got ice in Texas, Mississippi, Alabama. We've got snow moving into the northeast. Another big snowstorm. We don't think it's going to be as bad as the blizzard, but as far as the effects of this storm, it's certainly impacting many more people. The other story tonight, very cold air. Thanks for watching the Weather Channel. I'm Mike Seidel alongside here with Kim Perez.
Good morning, everyone. And that cold air will probably stay in place through the weekend. Now, in South Dakota, we did see that temperatures were well below normal, with wind chills very dangerous, like around minus 80 degrees. And again, that air mass will remain in place through the weekend. Now, wind chill temperatures were as low as minus 64 degrees at times, and the winds will die down a bit tomorrow, but the high probably won't make it above minus 15. The winter weather is also affecting parts of Mississippi. Several accidents were reported in Jackson as roads and highways were covered with ice from Thursday morning's storm. The city will see freezing rain and even some thunder, freezing rain overnight before turning into a mix of sleet and ice on Friday. Wow, what a mess. And it's very dangerous to be driving in situations like that. So my advice to you is probably just stay home, watch the TV, and maybe have some quality time with your children, play some games. Something like that. Let's look at the satellite picture. Some interesting features I want to show you here. See this air mass right here? Well, it's very cold at the surface from about right here and northward, and that's why we're seeing the freezing rain at the surface. We're south of that, maybe in southern Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and southern Louisiana, it's above freezing. We're seeing some thunderstorms that just moved through Louisiana, New Orleans, and probably will be pushing east into the panhandle of Florida later on this morning. But this area here in the oranges, that is mostly freezing rain, and because of the way that the radar and also the satellite reflects the cold temperatures, we're seeing it enhanced this way. It's not actually thunderstorms, it's freezing rain. And boy, did they get blasted with freezing rain all the way back down into Shreveport, where you reported thunder and freezing rain. That's very unusual. The freezing rain extends all the way back even into Texas. It was very dangerous all day today down around Austin, even Dallas seeing some freezing rain. It's quieting down a little bit now, and we're expecting maybe Friday will be a little bit better, but I don't think that it'd be wise to head out to work tomorrow. Okay, thunderstorms move through Arizona and New Mexico too with this system, and that's kind of indicating the strength of this system. We have a westerly flow that's just bringing the moisture over that cold air in place, and that's why we're seeing the very, very dangerous freezing rain event. All right, well, let's take a look and see what causes the freezing rain. Well, we'll start out. What happens is usually when the precipitation falls through the atmosphere, it starts out as snow. When it hits warmer air, it melts and falls as rain. But once you get into a little bit of colder air, especially at the surface, what happens is it falls as freezing rain because it actually melts, but then it hits that freezing air and freezes on contact, and that's when it gets dangerous. Now, sleet, that's very similar too, but we have a deeper layer of colder air, and so what happens is it has more time to become more snow or ice pellet-like, and that's where you see the freezing rain. Then, of course, snow, when all the way up in the atmosphere we have below freezing temperatures, that's where you see the snowfall. Now, I want to show you something here on radar because it's probably deceiving when you look at your radar. You probably think, my gosh, it looks like thunderstorms. This is something we see in the summertime. Well, actually, this is freezing rain. This is what I was talking about earlier because of the way, ice, freezing rain, the radar reflects off of that. It really enhances it, and we see all of this in here is actually freezing rain, very dangerous stuff, and we expect that all the way through the morning hours and now moving up into northwest Georgia for Friday afternoon. For your commute tomorrow morning, looks okay for Atlanta, but farther north it looks pretty dangerous. Now here's what's going on. We have that broad southwest flow, and by Saturday we have that cold air now really coming down, and temperatures, well, you already seen well below normal temperatures with record lows. Minus 36 at Aberdeen, South Dakota. Moline, minus 19. My goodness. And wind chills to boot. Minus 80 to minus 60 with some of those blustery winds. So let's take you into Friday morning. Snow, heavy snow, possibly into Nashville. And by the afternoon, it moves up into Washington, D.C. By the p.m. time frame, New York City getting some snow. We're talking about some winter storm warnings for Washington, D.C., and even for the mountains here in the Appalachians. Heaviest rainfall amounts in through the southeast with some of that rain showers. Heaviest snow band in through Washington, D.C., and into higher into the Appalachians. Temperatures very cold, dangerously cold with those wind chills, and not warming up hardly at all. The southeast, one more day of fairly mild temperatures, and then finally we start to see that cold air plunging down even into Florida. Well, next we have the Pacific outlook. We'll take a look how it's cold in the northwest.
Now there's a fast, easy way to complete your federal income tax return that guarantees accuracy. TaxMate software, free from Parsons Technology, automatically performs all calculations and prints IRS-approved tax forms and schedules on your printer. TaxMate interviews you. It determines which forms and schedules you need, guiding you through the process of completing your return. TaxMate includes the most commonly used forms and schedules. Just print, sign, and you're done. Doing your taxes has never been easier. TaxMate's calculations are guaranteed accurate. Should you be assessed an IRS penalty caused by a fault in TaxMate, we, not you, will pay the penalty. This $39 value is yours free as our way of introducing you to the latest in personal tax return preparation and high-performance software from Parsons Technology. All you pay is $8.95 for shipping and handling. But hurry, offer limited to the first 250,000 orders. Call 1-800-808-7700 now.
International weather. Now, 42 minutes after every hour, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to. And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
time, and there's a snowstorm in the forecast. But you have places to go. Driving in a snowstorm is a tough job for anyone. You have the responsibility of your automobile, and above all else, you are responsible for your passengers. It's a relief to know that the snow fighters are out there, working for your safety. Salt saves lives.
Axo Nobel Salt Incorporated, the leading producer of de-icing salt. Salt saves lives.
If you need a Visa credit card, we have a special offer just for you. We guarantee to give you a credit card with no security deposit required, regardless of your past credit history. Almost everyone will be approved for a Visa card, even if you've been turned down before. If you meet our minimum requirements, your approval is guaranteed. Our offer is for an unsecured credit card. This means that you are not required to send in a security deposit. Don't miss this limited offer to obtain a Visa card with no security deposit. Call our number now. An application will be sent to you immediately.
Every so often, the wind carries misfortune. The snowfall can paralyze, and the rain washes away dreams. But we go on, together, helping each other rebuild, helping each other dream again. Because severe weather is less frightening when you're prepared for it, we bring you the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to. Is waiting beyond the horizon, and every time you say goodbye, a new adventure begins. What will you discover when you reach your destination? What will you find when those wings bring you back to Earth? Because there are some surprises that you'd rather be prepared for, we bring you the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
Well, the cold air is still trapped in the northwest. We're seeing temperatures a little bit below normal up in the northwest. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, let's see what happened. Well, we have this Arctic front, kind of a modified front at this point, but we're definitely seeing differences between this air mass and this air mass here. And that's why we're showing this stationary modified Arctic boundary here. Now, we did have some showers move through Phoenix and Tucson today, but that's pretty much it, and maybe some snow continuing through the mountains, maybe around Flagstaff. But by the afternoon, it's gone. We see a couple showers now moving in to around the San Francisco area. So if you're planning on going to the Geary Theater, which now reopened since the damage was done with the earthquake of October 17th in '89. So if you're planning on heading there, maybe take the umbrella. Down across Southern California, you won't need the umbrella. Partly cloudy skies for the morning, and the afternoon, not looking too bad either. 74 around Palm Springs. Now, as we head farther north, this is where we see some of the clouds moving in, and even some fog in around Fresno. San Joaquin Valley reporting some fog in some areas like Highway 98 around Interstate 5, so be careful driving in that area. Showers moving into around Red Bluff and Ukiah for the afternoon. The northwest is where we see the very chilly temperatures. 16 for a low at Portland, 22 in Seattle, and only warming to 30.
Gardeners, if you love beautiful gardens full of garden fresh vegetables, big beautiful flowers and elegant landscape plantings, but hate the time and backbreaking work it takes, here's great news. Introducing the affordable Troy-Built Pony, designed and built especially for home gardeners. The Troy-Built Pony is an amazing time and work saver, turning any soil into perfect planting beds quickly and easily, working rich organic matter into your soil, building exciting new flower gardens and border plantings. You can even reseed your lawn or dig a deep trench for planting shrubs. Plus, you'll love having your own garden fresh vegetables all season long. So if you want to learn more about getting results like this, the fast, easy Troy-Built way, call for your free catalog today. Call now and we'll also include complete details on our Troy-Built Easy Payment Plan. For your free catalog featuring the Pony and our whole line of Troy-Built tillers, including our no money down easy payment plan, call 1-800-346-8800. That's 1-800-346-8800. Call now.
This vacation tip is brought to you by American Express. Explore more in Lake Tahoe with the American Express card. Go for more on your winter vacation. More snow, more winter sports, more nightlife, and more spectacular scenic beauty. There's more of everything at Lake Tahoe. This pristine alpine lake is the centerpiece of an action-packed winter playland. The lake is surrounded by the rugged Sierra Nevada mountains, highest elevation nearly 11,000 feet. There are 15 alpine ski resorts, including 6 Ski Lake Tahoe resorts, all within an hour's drive of each other. Average yearly snowfall, 450 inches, with sunshine 75% of the year. It's outstanding skiing November through April or later. The Lake Tahoe resorts are a 45 to 90-minute drive from the airport in Reno, Nevada. For detailed reports on conditions in the region, watch the Lake Tahoe Skiers Forecast on the Weather Channel, twice daily at 10:12 a.m. and 11:12 p.m. Eastern.
Skiers, call 1-900-WEATHER, 95 cents a minute for current slope conditions, trail openings, and weather forecasts from the Weather Channel.
Yes, it's coming to me. Just a moment. Hello, happy psychic helpers. Oh, yeah, I see a lot in your future, lady.
Have you called those other psychic lines only to be left with an empty feeling? Well, you deserve better. Call the Psychic Readers Network and speak to a psychic who really cares. We believe our psychics are the best, and to prove it, we want you to try us for free. That's right. Call now and you'll get a free sample reading with one of our gifted psychics.
When I heard about the free reading, I just had to call.
My psychic clued right into me. It was the best reading I ever had.
It was remarkably accurate and very helpful.
For answers to your questions about love, money, and your future, speak to a true psychic. Call now for your free sample reading.
You get a free reading, why wouldn't you call?
My psychic was very good. She let me right into promotion at work that I didn't even know about.
Hello, this is the Leo. Oh, the Aquarian. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Hang on.
Why call one of those other psychics when you can try us for free? Call now for your free reading.
Call 1-800-290-2217.
Channel. Accurate and dependable forecasts you can always turn to. And when you're away from your television, the Weather Channel forecast is also available from the following.
Well, if you want some warm weather by later in the weekend, about the only chance to find it in the U.S. of A. would be the Hawaiian Islands, and it looks pretty good. By the way, the high surf advisory for Oahu has been dropped, continues over the north shores of the Big Island as that cold front moved on through a couple of nights ago with some showers and thunderstorms. In Alaska, it's still dry, and it's turned colder again in Fairbanks. Your high temperature on Friday, about 10 below zero. It was fairly mild for a couple of days after being in the deep freeze for a couple of weeks. Some of that area has actually moved into the U.S., the lower 48. In Juneau, still now, if it doesn't precipitate on Friday, as far as I know, that would be a tie. It would tie the record for the longest stretch without precipitation, 21 days. That would be a record on Saturday, but by Saturday you may get some snow flurries. 25 there Thursday, 14 in Fairbanks, but again, about 20 to 25 degrees colder in Fairbanks Friday afternoon. And in Hawaii, temperatures remaining in the 70s and low 80s. Lots of sunshine with a few clouds returning on Saturday.
Youth, when there are no worries, just playing chase, wrestling, and taking lots of naps. When all that really matters is having fun. From the creator of the award-winning television series Wild America comes a home video unlike anything you've ever seen. These are nature's precious moments, available now as a special 1-hour home video. It is not available in stores. Call this toll-free number now and get precious moments for just $19.95. Order now and you'll also receive The Beauty of Butterflies absolutely free. That's right, both of these extraordinary programs are yours for just $19.95. Call now.
For rush delivery, get your credit card ready and call 1-800-544-6665. That's 1-800-544-6665. Or send your check or money order to the address on your screen. Call now.
Imagine loving your family as much as you always have. Now imagine doing it with some extra money. Call 1-800-YES-KELLY to find out how you can put your skills back to work. Kelly Services, your employment source.
For more information about Kelly Services, call 1-800-YES-KELLY today.
This segment of the 5-Day Business Planner is brought to you by Kelly Services, your employment source.
Well, it's shaping up to be a pretty stormy and icy weekend, so stay tuned because we're going to have all the updates coming up here in a few minutes. Looking at satellite, we can see the system already starting to take shape. We have a broad southwesterly flow. We really don't have a main surface feature with this except for a very strong high pressure center moving down from the northern plains and a frontal boundary right down here across the south that's providing some of the lift, some of the moisture that's overriding that area. Cold air in place is producing freezing rain. Well, it's not actually producing freezing rain, but because it's already freezing at the surface, any precipitation falling, hitting that surface is changing to freezing rain. And that's where we're seeing the enhancement here in the cloud picture here. The orange is indicating some freezing rain and probably some heavier snows too. Even back into Texas, Austin had some terrible freezing problems this morning on the ground. Probably very terrible for driving. All right, let's take a look at the jet stream and see what's happening. Here's that cold air coming down from the north, that southwesterly flow. And by Saturday, it just stays in place. And we're going to see a very cold weekend for most of the country. And maybe start to warm up a little because we see here to the west, we see this ridge, and eventually that ridge will kind of push to the east and warm things up a little bit. But for the morning hours, today, we're expecting that freezing rain and ice, just a mess here in the pinks and the whites indicating the snow all the way up into Washington, D.C., New York City. You could see some snowfall, and all the way back to Little Rock. And what a streak of mess here. Definitely for Friday, it's going to be a rough commute for the rush hour. Friday night is not looking as bad. We're just looking at the snowfall. I don't know if you'd rather drive in snow or freezing rain, but either way, it's dangerous. But maybe a mix here down to Piedmont all the way back down into northern Georgia, maybe around Birmingham, a little bit of a mix there. Now, wind chill-wise, this is the next situation. Very dangerous here. Wind chills, -80 to -60. Some northerly winds gusting close to around 20 for some areas. Could produce wind chills, very cold, -60 to -80. And you definitely want to bundle up, maybe even not even go out in that. If your kids are heading off to school, don't let them stand at that bus stop. Take them to school because that high pressure means business. It's moving to the south, bringing the cold air all the way down to the south. And we're looking at maybe one more day or 2 days of fairly mild temperatures even across Florida before that cold air gets in. Now by the afternoon hours, we're looking at snow in D.C., maybe even some heavy snowfall. Farther south, well, maybe around Norfolk, you could see some freezing rain tomorrow, so be prepared. Definitely know how to drive on that ice. You want to not slam on the brakes. You want to be careful going over the bridges and overpasses because that's what freezes first. The snow should taper off down across Texas, and maybe some upslope conditions will continue to snow across the southern Front Range. Look at these lows. My goodness, we did see a lot of record lows in the northern plains, and I'm sure for Friday we'll see more record lows. And the highs aren't warming up any better. It is going to be brutally cold again for Friday. This is the coldest air of the winter season they have seen in the northern plains. So we're talking about cold, and they're used to the cold up there. Temperatures on Saturday slightly modifying into the teens and 20s, and another little shot of cold air there. Now we're looking to the south now, only getting in the 20s and 30s for most of the weekend, even Monday. But by Tuesday, there's a light at the end of the tunnel here. We're seeing a warm up again because that ridge is starting to move to the east. Now here's the mess all the way up in New York City, some snow, and even Sunday continuing snow. Not as heavy though, and Monday and Tuesday it's gone.
The world is waiting beyond the horizon, and every time you say goodbye, a new adventure begins. What will you discover when you reach your destination? What will you find when those wings bring you back to Earth? Because there are some surprises that you'd rather be prepared for, we bring you the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
By. I mean, look at me. What's not to notice? I'm here. I tell you, if you want to feel good, you got to look good. And if I'm going to run good, I got to feel good. Look at me. I'm designed for a high-octane gas. I love it. That's what I need. This Chevron Supreme with Techron. I mean, it makes me run like a champ. It's all good stuff. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
No premium outperforms Chevron Supreme with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter.
I mean, I don't mean to brag or anything, but I feel stupendous.
To reduce knocking and pinging, try new Chevron Supreme with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter.
Let's check in on that West Coast weather, which has quieted down. Next storm is way off the coast. Now the clouds are kind of spilling into northern and central California, and you'll see a lot of clouds around the Bay Area up towards Eureka, Ukiah, Crescent City. Well, we don't expect a whole lot of rainfall. Best chance of rain would be Friday night. Southland okay. Look at this cold air mass. The darker blue, that indicates that Arctic air which has spilled over the Rockies, over the Cascades into Seattle and Portland. So your forecast remains unchanged. Dry and cold, especially in the basin areas. 1 or 2 raindrops north of the Golden Gate Bridge. Southland temperatures not bad, 74 Palm Springs. Boy, we'll take that and run with it based on what the rest of the country is going to be going through for the rest of the weekend. Tahoe Valley, good skiing weather, 33. Some sunshine in San Francisco, but mostly cloudy, basically, especially from the Golden Gate north. And in Seattle and Portland, another chilly day with the highs in the basin areas, single numbers in teens, 8 in Spokane. We'll come back and update you on the ice storm and the big snowstorm in the east for the weekend. Stay tuned.
And And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
This one having a real impact in the Deep South tonight with ice, freezing rain, the worst of all driving from Texas to Alabama. And then in the long term, more snow in the Northeast. How much? We'll let you know. Thanks for watching the Weather Channel. I'm Mike Seidel here with Kim Perez.
Good morning, everyone. And that cold air, well, it means business, and it's coming from Canada. And places like in North Dakota, South Dakota, they've seen record lows. As a matter of fact, in South Dakota, we saw that wind chills got to minus 64 in some places, and it will be just as cold on Friday morning. Now, the winds will die down a bit tomorrow, but the high probably won't make it above minus 15 for Sioux Falls. That's very cold temperatures there, folks. Now, the winter weather is also affecting parts of Mississippi. Several accidents were reported in Jackson as roads and highways were covered with ice from Thursday morning's storm. The city will see more freezing rain and even some thunder and freezing rain overnight before turning into a mix of sleet and ice on Friday. So you're not out of the woods yet. Now let's look at the satellite and see if we can pick out where the freezing rain is occurring versus where the thunderstorms are occurring. Well, it's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? Because they look the same. Here's the freezing rain and some of the heavy snow going on right in here, even back into Oklahoma and Texas. And here's the thunderstorms. New Orleans, east, moving into maybe the Panhandle thunderstorms, and maybe some heavy rainfall with that. So it's kind of tricky looking at satellite trying to decide what's going on. You have to look at the surface, but you can see here the cold air coming down from Canada. And again, that does mean business, and it's very dangerous to be out unprotected. So be real careful. Heading out to school tomorrow, kids, bundle up. Listen to the parents when they tell you to wear the gloves, the face masks, anything you have to keep cold. Keep warm. Okay, let's take a look at the morning forecast, and we're looking for some more freezing rain. Now, in the northern plains, we're just looking for very dangerous wind chills and cold conditions, but here we're looking for some more ice, and that can be very dangerous for driving tomorrow. So you may want to think twice about heading out tomorrow, or head out earlier, and drive slow. Don't slam on the brakes, and keep a good distance between the driver in front of you and yourself. Snow all the way up into New York City for the morning hours, and by the afternoon we're looking at the mix and freezing rain dying down a little bit. Some of that cold air is really starting to get in at the mid-level, so we're going to see less of the mix of freezing rain and sleet. But looks like the southeast anyway will be okay. But what's happening is we have a broad southwest flow. That energy is still kind of holding back here in the southwest. Once that energy moves out, it's going to produce even some more snow all the way up into New England. Here's the northern branch, and that's bringing in the cold air from Canada, and that's why we're seeing those record highs, or record lows and record low highs for places in the northern plains. This is the coldest air of this season for the northern plains. And you're usually used to this cold weather, but this is ridiculous. Saturday, we're deepening that trough, bringing even some more cold air, and it's just going to stay in place all the way through the weekend. We saw temperatures 40 degrees below normal and most of the country in below normal, and that's going to stay with us probably all the way through the weekends. Now let's take a look at some of these record lows. International Falls, minus 43, and I bet you come close to breaking it again tomorrow. Spokane, minus 22. That's kind of unusual to see it in the northwest like that. So you really know this cold air is really entrenched in the northern parts of the country, and it's just going to head southward. The wind chill forecast, unbelievable, minus 80 to minus 60. And in one place in Saskatchewan reported minus 100 degrees below zero for a wind chill. Just awful. I would not head out in this if I were you folks. Even pretty cold down here across the south, and it's going to get colder once this front moves by and this front kind of skirts off. The cold air will allowed to come in, and we'll see a very cold and dreary weekend for most of the southeast. Freezing rain all the way up into northern Georgia, we think, and by this time tomorrow afternoon, New York City and even Washington, D.C., possibly seeing some heavy snowfall, maybe 6 to 12 inches in the Appalachians, and then heavy snow all the way through the D.C. area and Baltimore area. As far as precip amounts, well, with some of the heavy rainfall, we could see an inch across the southeast, and there's that heavy snow band moving into the mid-Atlantic states. The northeast may be spared from the heavy snowfall and the freezing rain, but some flurries should start to move in over the weekend. There's those cold temperatures for the morning, and it's just going to stay with you folks all the way through the afternoon. The southeast may see another day or two of fairly mild temperatures, even down into Florida, but there comes that cold air all the way down to Florida, where we see temperatures not even getting out of the 30s. But again, a light at the end of the tunnel. We see now a warm-up for Tuesday. Now Saturday, it looks like this, very nasty all the way up to New York City, a mix here down in North Carolina, Virginia, snow showers all the way down to Birmingham and Atlanta. The snow moves up into the northeast and New England, and maybe just some snow showers, nothing real heavy. And then Monday, not looking too bad. Well, next we have the Pacific outlook, so stay tuned and we'll talk about how some of that cold air is trapped in the northwest.
Oh, she's got to notice me when she comes by. I mean, look at me. What's not to notice? I'm here. I tell you, if you want to feel good, you got to look good. And if I'm going to run good, I got to feel good. Look at me. I'm designed for a high-octane gas. I love it. That's what I need. This Chevron Supreme with Techron. I mean, it makes me run like a champ. It's all good stuff. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
No premium outperforms Chevron Supreme with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter.
I mean, I don't mean to brag or anything, but I feel stupendous.
To reduce knocking and pinging, try new Chevron Supreme with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter.
Know what conditions to expect when you reach your destination. Watch the Business Travel Forecast, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to. And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
seconds. Dump a handful of coins into the sorting bank. Give it a shake. Instantly, the coins are sorted into 4 denominations. Now, line up one of the denominations using the Coinmaster tube. Place the coins in the counting tray until the section is full. That's precisely $10 in quarters. Then, transfer the column back to the tube. Drop in a paper shell wrapper and tip the tube. Presto! There's a roll ready for the bank. Normally, the sorting bank and the Coinmaster sell for $20 each, but callers to this ad will receive both for only $19.95. It's like getting one free.
So have your credit card ready, pick up the phone and call 1-800-508-1116.
At 42 minutes after the hour, you can find out what the weather is like in Germany and Spain. At 42 minutes after the hour, you can see the temperatures for Italy and France. And at 42 minutes after the hour, we explain how the conditions for England and Russia can affect travel plans. Watch International Weather. Now, 42 minutes after every hour, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
Well, good morning. It's time for the Pacific forecast. Let's take a look at the surface features first. And we see a stationary boundary, and what this is doing is it's separating a very cold air mass from a fairly mild air mass down to the south. We did have some showers move through the Phoenix area. That's over with now. What's left of it now moving into New Mexico and Texas. But the cold air is definitely still in place, and it will be probably even through the afternoon hours. We will see some showers moving into San Francisco by the afternoon with this next little impulse moving in. But for the rest of the west, not looking too bad. Some mostly cloudy skies down around Long Beach for the morning hours, and around 65 for an afternoon high and 74 at Palm Springs. So that looks pretty good, I think, compared to what they're experiencing in the east. Fog for Fresno in the morning, but that should burn off, and maybe some afternoon clouds. And even in the mountains, 45 around Yosemite. So not too bad even in the higher elevations. But look to the north here. Portland, a low of 16, only warming up to 30. Let's go to the international weather next.
This is how we do it.
It's back, and it's hotter than ever. Quality's Dance Mix USA Volume 4.
This is the rhythm of the...
More of what you're looking for.
Oh, yeah. Another night, another...
Over 70 minutes of non-stop dance mixes guaranteed to make you sweat. Groove to a higher state of consciousness. Montel Jordan, Corona, Ace of Base, and more. Call this toll-free number to get Dance Mix USA Volume 4. Cassette $15.95, CD $19.95. Call right now and we'll also send you this $10 long-distance phone card. It's yours free with your credit card order.
Y'all ready for this?
Bust free of the boredom. Dance Mix USA Volume 4 puts life into your party. Call right now and we'll also send you this $10 long-distance phone card. It's yours free with your credit card order. Call now.
International Weather. Now, 42 minutes after every hour, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
Well, the weather in the States is certainly much colder than the weather in Europe, but usually it's the other way around because of the Siberian connection. But look at this, Moscow 21, Minsk at 25, and back through Eastern Europe 20s and 30s. A typical day in Paris and London, the highs were up there in the 40s. The cold air, the coldest air north of our boundary, and much like here in the lower U.S., we're getting moisture coming up from the southern latitudes, in this case the Mediterranean, up and over the cold air, and we're getting some ice. That's where you see the orange in parts of southern Germany, Austria, and Hungary. Snow in the Alps, snow showers, good near Poland, and that's Germany. And over towards maybe some snow around parts of the lower parts of Scandinavia at least. Forecasted highs colder than they have been over the past couple of days as the cold air bleeds south and east. 30s for Paris and a good deal of France and the British Isles as that cold front drops south as we showed you. Here's some city forecasts for you. The snow showers continuing in Brussels and Frankfurt. Showers and 50 in Rome as we kick off the weekend. And cloudy, a little bit chillier in Paris. Highs not cracking 40 Saturday. Back at home, dangerously cold weather, an ice storm, and another northeastern snowstorm this weekend. We'll detail it next. Kim Perez has it.
Prepare yourself. Call the Weather Channel. Call 1-900-WEATHER, 95 cents a minute.
Climb aboard and take your seat. You're about to begin the adventure of a lifetime. Your ride, gleaming railway cars that will be your home for this wondrous journey. And your ticket, the special collector's edition video, The Great Canadian Train Ride, now available for the first time on TV. You'll journey across Canada on the newly restored Canadian as it takes you on one of the longest passenger rail journeys in the world. Travel low plains that give rise to mountainous terrains. See canyon floors carpeted with flowers and teeming with abundant wildlife. You'll experience a time when rail travel was to be savored and enjoyed. Sumptuous dining in elegant cars, luxurious sleeping accommodations, and magnificent vistas to greet you at every turn. Your magic carpet made of steel takes you on a wondrous adventure through the most beautiful cities of Canada, plus the breathtaking national parks of Jasper and Banff. Make your reservations early for the Great Canadian Train Ride. A full-length 80-minute video on VHS is $19.95. Call now to order.
For accurate forecasts at your convenience. Weather you can always turn to. No matter how much you plan, if business travel keeps you on the road or up in the air, you're probably used to the unexpected. At the Weather Channel, we know the weather can slow you down. That's why we offer the Business Travel Forecast. Get the information you need to plan for your travel and know what conditions to expect when you reach your destination. The Business Travel Forecast on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
Yes, it's coming to me. Just a moment. Hello, happy psychic helpers. Oh, yeah, I see a lot in your future, lady.
Have you called those other psychic lines only to be left with an empty feeling? Well, you deserve better. Call the Psychic Readers Network and speak to a psychic who really cares. We believe our psychics are the best, and to prove it, we want you to try us for free. That's right. Call now and you'll get a free sample reading with one of our gifted psychics.
When I heard about the free reading, I just had to call.
My psychic clued right into me. It was the best reading I ever had.
It was remarkably accurate and very helpful.
For answers to your questions about love, money, and your future, speak to a true psychic. Call now for your free sample reading.
You get a free reading, why wouldn't you call?
My psychic was very good. She let me right into promotion at work that I didn't even know about.
Hello, this is the Leo. Oh, the Aquarian. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Hang on.
Why call one of those other psychics when you can try us for free? Call now for your free reading.
Call 1-800-290-2217.
Well, we're talking about very cold temperatures and a lot of heavy snow. We're talking about the winter storm update. We're going to start off looking at the water vapor shot. And what I wanted to show you here was the next impulse that's going to be moving across the east that is going to help induce some of the heavy snows, that's going to help induce some of the freezing rain and some of the rains across the south. Can you pick out where it is? I think it's right here. You can see kind of a circulation right in here, and it's already starting to move into Texas, and we're continuing to see the freezing rain in West Texas, and winter storm warnings are out for like the Big Bend area and the Hill Country, and winter storm warnings and watches extend all the way to the mid-Atlantic states with this. We have a very broad southwesterly flow. You can see it here, and a lot of mid-level moisture. Not a lot of moisture at the low levels, especially in this area here, but as you get farther south, the Gulf is trying to push some of that moisture, and that's why we're seeing some of the rains now across Louisiana, even some thunderstorms down in there. Well, let's take a look at the forecast for the snowfall. Well, first, let's take a look at the history. And we already see here that some places got close to 6 inches of snow. In Tulsa, I think you got 5 inches of snow. Now, we're going to see this area probably extend all the way to the east. This is the forecast. We're looking for 6 to 12 inches in Washington, D.C. Little Rock, you could see 3 to 6 inches. And the Appalachians, boy, the skiers are going to love this, possibly a foot of snow. So we're looking at some pretty nasty weather over the weekend, and I recommend making the chili. That sounds pretty good. All right, through the AM rush, we're looking at a very nasty morning. We're looking at freezing rain and ice and snow all the way through the middle part of the country. And especially for the morning hours when you're heading out, either leave early, drive very slow, especially with the freezing rain and the sleet, if you're not really used to driving on, especially across the southeast here in the deep south where we normally don't see that. So it's going to be pretty dangerous heading out tomorrow morning in northern Georgia. Interstate 75 could be pretty treacherous for the morning hours. Let's talk about freezing rain, sleet, and snow. What happens in the atmosphere? Well, for rain, we see that the temperatures through a good portion of the atmosphere is above freezing, so it falls as rain, initially starting out as snow. Now, because some of the temperatures down here at the surface are below freezing, it actually melts as it falls through the warm layer. Then it hits that cold layer at the surface and it freezes on contact. And that's when it's really dangerous. Now, sleet is not as bad. It's not that real icy stuff. It almost looks like snow a little bit, snow pellets. And it's because you have a deeper layer of cold air where the rain actually has time to freeze over again. And that's where we see the sleet. Now, the snow, all the way through the atmosphere, we're looking at temperatures below freezing. So we see snow. And that's why we're seeing snow forecast for the northern part, at least the central part of the country, because all the way through the levels of the atmosphere, it is below freezing. It is below freezing for a lot of the country, especially for departures from normals. Look at this, minus 35 to minus 40 in some places here, and that translates, especially to highs, minus 25 International Falls, minus 27 in Bismarck, North Dakota, and 14 around Cincinnati, 10 Chicago, looking pretty cold, and even colder for Friday. Minus 20s again for International Falls, and we see that cold air now trying to make its way south, and even some snow all the way up into D.C.
The world is waiting beyond the horizon, and every time you say goodbye, a new adventure begins. What will you discover when you reach your destination? What will you find when those wings bring you back to Earth? Because there are some surprises that you'd rather be prepared for, we bring you the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
International weather. Now, 42 minutes after every hour, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to. And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
polish their silver? They don't, and neither should you. There's no mess worse than silver polish, and tarnish remover just cleans one piece at a time. Forget it! Now there's Silver Lightning. Remove years of tarnish quick as lightning. No mess, no chemicals, in no time at all, it shines like new. The secret is this Silver Lightning conductor plate. Add baking soda and water, put in your silver, watch dirt and tarnish disappear. Amazing! Clean all your silver at once. This old tarnish coffee urn is cleaned right before your eyes. Look at the submerged half. What a difference! Call now and you'll also get Jewelry Lightning to clean your jewelry. That's both for only $19.95. You can spend more money, but you can't buy a better silver cleaner. Order now.
To order Silver Lightning for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling, have your credit card ready and call us toll-free at 1-800-522-3131. Call now and receive as a free bonus Jewelry Lightning. Call 1-800-522-3131.
Look at me. I'm designed for a high-octane gas. I love it. That's what I need. This Chevron Supreme with Techron. I mean, it makes me run like a champ. It's all good stuff. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Chevron Supreme with Techron. Simply smarter.
I feel stupendous.
To reduce knocking and pinging, try new Chevron Supreme with Techron. Chevron, simply smarter.
At 42 minutes after the hour, you can find out what the weather is like in Germany and Spain. At 42 minutes after the hour, you can see the temperatures for Italy and France. And at 42 minutes after the hour, we explain how the conditions for England and Russia can affect travel plans. Watch International Weather. Now, 42 minutes after every hour, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers.
Good morning. I'm glad you tuned in because you're going to want to see this forecast if you plan on heading out tomorrow. Look at this. We have snow, sleet, freezing rain, you name it, we have it. And it's dangerous to be driving in this. Interstate 55, 30, 45, 40. I'm not even going to name all of them, but you can see them here. It's going to be treacherous heading out tomorrow morning. So leave early, maybe call ahead to work and find out if you can come in late, because it's going to be very nasty again for tomorrow. Some roads may even be closed, so you may want to check with the local sheriff department to find out about those roads. Flash flood watch for most of the state of Alabama through the morning hours. Some rain moving into that area. But here's the nasty stuff. All the way up in the mid-Atlantic states, Washington, D.C., some snow for you tomorrow, maybe totaling 6 to 12 inches of the white stuff. We have our own Jill Brown in Philly tomorrow, and stay tuned because she'll be giving us some live updates from there. The snow will move into Philly Friday afternoon and probably by Friday evening also. Here we go, the rainy travel, flash flood watch down in Alabama, some wind up in the north.
It's as far as Michelin science has ever gone. Our biggest breakthrough since we invented the radial. Technology that brings us to a new level of performance, in good weather and bad. In the rain, in the snow. Technology so advanced, it even saves gas. The new energy tires with Radial XSE technology from Michelin. It's science that goes beyond magic.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you because so much is riding on your tires.
Know what conditions to expect when you reach your destination. Watch the Business Travel Forecast, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to. And now your local forecast.